We gonna are we gonna look at the camera? We gonna talk?
Black with no chaser.
You want us to do face to face, or we looking at the camera? Good afternoon, almost afternoon, beautiful black people. I'm here with my good friend Halima. How you doing, Halima?
I'm good. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. We here at the NAACP talking election protection, and today is election day.
That's right.
How you feeling today? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. I'm ready to, vote Tate out. So I don't, I don't know if that's what we supposed to be talking about.
Listen, I feel you. I'm actually with you personally. Myself, okay. CJS Black with no chaser is with you on that.
Exactly.
What was your experience like as far as voting today? Was it pretty simple, straightforward? Or?
Actually, it was. I vote. I'm in Hinds County. I vote over on State Street, and it was really easy. I didn't have any lines. I was number 145.
I know 145. Right? I see.
So it's a smaller location, but it was very easy to go in. Gave them my ID, went, cast my vote.
That's what's up. Like, so the reason why it's really important to hear stories like yours, even, is because there have been we've already had a few people call in from different places and talk about experiences that they've had. Trouble voting at. In fact, you said you had heard about one precinct.
Yep. So I heard that Tougaloo Community Center, that the machines have been down for a good portion of the morning. I don't know if they're still down, but we need to make sure that people are reporting those type of incidents, not just here in Hinds County, but across the state, because this election is so important.
Yeah.
You can watch for, people will try to take things from you.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. And I'm glad that you said that. And ladies and gentlemen, if you are experiencing any trouble at any location throughout the state of Mississippi, you can just give us a call at 1-888-601-VOTE. That's 1-888-601-8683. And let us know what's going on. We got attorneys and people that are here to protect your rights all over the state, listening in to be able to advise you on how to be able to move forward and make sure that your vote is counted. As Halima said, it's a really important election.
That's right.
And, she had a good experience today, number 145.
That's right.
And we want y'all to have good experiences as well. So that's really what we here for. And that's really what it's all about.
All right.
I'm so glad you could come by and see. I ain't seen you in a minute, so I'm glad to be able to see you.
I'm so glad to see y'all out here doing this. It is amazing. I love Black with No Chaser. I have watched this organization grow, and I appreciate everybody for just joining in and want to encourage people to continue joining in. Make sure that you support your boy CJ, support all of the people that's on staff. It's beautiful, baby.
Appreciate you so much. Look at you.
How nice.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right.
That's my homie Halima, y'all. That's my real friend, man.
Right.
I'm so grateful for her pulling up on us today, and I'm glad that you had a pleasant experience voting. I seen your son for the first time in a long time too.
Oh yeah, he's out here doing this community work.
Yeah,
it is beautiful to see young people out there, and so I just want to encourage people to always go out and vote. Sometimes it feels like it's, we're doing it and we're doing it for nothing. Yeah. But the reality is it's a lot of people that died for us to do it. And whatever your beliefs are, I know that voting lessens the blow.
Yeah.
Right? We have to make sure that the youth recognize the power in democracy, and that this is the only way that we have for right now. We can, we can dismantle, we can talk about that. Yeah. But right now we've got to get out there and vote people in that have our best interest at heart.
Halima, I'm so glad that you said that, because it actually made me think about one of the number one reasons I'm voting this year is Medicaid expansion.
Oh, that's right.
I actually recently, my mother passed away back in April.
That's right.
And we were in and out of the hospital for the last 3 years. I mean, in and out of the hospital, and each year it got worse and worse in the hospitals. And you can see the direct impact that it had, that Medicaid expansion, or failing to expand Medicaid, had on the hospitals, had on the limitations that the hospitals had. Half of the floors
Mhm.
sometimes were not even open at the hospital.
That's right.
The nurses were overloaded and overworked. You had nurses that were having 10 and 20 people that they were having to see, and it was just I could see the direct impact that politics was having on the dynamics of dealing with my family.
That's
And
right.
I think that a lot of people probably can see that. And so I think you're right on
Absolutely.
point
Yeah.
with that for sure. For sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
So please get out there and vote. I know we can't, it seems like we're saying it too much, but at the very end of the day, it makes a difference.
Oh yeah.
We don't, and especially when it's, you know, the local elections,
Mhm.
they make the most impact, because these people, I can go and see CJ, you know, our representative or
Mhm.
somebody, and say, hey, we need this to happen.
Right.
This is bringing people into our democracy, so we got to do it.
Halima, I appreciate you jumping on and talking with us. I know you didn't really, you know what I'm saying? At first you was like, hey, but you came on and did your thing. See that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will be back in just a minute. Hey, look, if you have any trouble at all, 1-888-601 vote. Election protection will be here to protect you throughout the day for the election. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
We will be with you shortly. Stay tuned as we talk election protection on election day, live with Black with No Chaser. Also, be sure to share this video so that we can ensure that all are aware of what is needed on today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is CJ Lawrence, CEO of Black with No Chaser, and we are here today with one voice and Mississippi NAACP with election protection. And as you all know, today, and particularly in the state of Mississippi, this is a very important day. It's election day, and there is a gubernatorial race going on in the state of Mississippi. And it's a very significant race for a number of reasons to a number of people. And the thing that Halima and I just spoke about when she was on is that this election and all of these elections and the decision makers uh, elections all impact us, whether we realize it or not, and whether it's directly or indirectly. A little bit earlier, I was talking about Medicaid expansion, and that's one of the issues on the ballot that took a direct interest to me, because I had a sick family member. That sick family member was my mother. For the last 3 years, I have been a caregiver to my mother, along with my father and my sister and my brother, where we all were, trying to be providers and help her quality of life. The state of Mississippi refused for years to expand Medicaid, uh, to the tune of refusing to accept $4 billion worth of funding from the state government that would have essentially subsidized and supported our healthcare infrastructure. In doing so, 60% of the jobs that would have been created in healthcare were not created. As a result, people like my mother throughout the state of Mississippi suffered because both people suffered and the hospitals themselves suffered in that they were short-handed, short-staffed, underfunded, and didn't have the ability to give people the level of care that one should come to expect because of the inability to do so when you have so few hands and so many people who need the help. And so for me, Medicaid expansion is an essential issue. And it's one of the reasons that I am making sure that I am going to the poll this year and why this election means so much to me in particular. There are other issues along the ballot, including education issues, making sure that education is funded fully. There are issues that relate to justice, particularly for us here in Hinds County. We understand that there have been some things that have occurred over the last few years that directly impact particularly Black citizens, Black voters, Black communities. And so we think this is essential. The one thing that I think is important not to do is not preach to people about why they should vote, but hear from them directly about why it is or what it is that they want to see happen in their communities so that we can then see how voting is directly connected to making those things happen. And so with that being said, I think this is a critical election. It's a critical time, but I can directly tie into why it's critical to me. And I hope that what people do is take the opportunity to think about for themselves what it is that they'd like to see happen in the state of Mississippi. What does progress look like for them? What does opportunity look like to them? What are the pain points that they feel when they wake up in the morning or when they go to sleep at night? What are the things that keep them up at night? And how does voting, or how could voting impact maybe you being able to sleep a little easier? Maybe you being able to have a little bit more peace of mind than you already have. Being able to hold people accountable and being able to utilize your voice in that way. And so we got some people pulling up on us. I got my guy Amir Badat pulling up from the NAACP LDF. So hey, Legal Defense Fund. What's going on, Amir? How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you, man.
Happy election day.
Absolutely. So we got Amir here from the Legal Defense Fund. Amir, can you tell us a little bit about the Legal Defense LDF and what y'all are working on?
Absolutely. So NAACP Legal Defense Fund is one of the oldest civil rights organizations in the country, founded by Thurgood Marshall, the first Supreme Court justice, the person who litigated Brown versus Board of Education. We have a long history of civil rights work here in Mississippi, litigation, policy work, activism, community organizing. And so I'm really excited for us to be down here doing election protection work during this incredibly important election in Mississippi. Every single statewide office is on the ballot. All of our legislative seats are on the ballot. We got sheriff, election commissioners, board of supervisors. All of these incredibly important positions are on the ballot. And so today we're working to make sure that every single voter in Mississippi, in particular Black voters in Mississippi who have faced a long history of discrimination, are able to cast their ballots and have them counted, and making sure that anyone who's running into any problems has the resources that they need to be able to cast their ballots.
That's great, Amir. I've actually been working with election protection for the last, I guess I say since probably 2013 myself. I do have some questions. Are there some essential things that maybe voters should know as they get ready to head to the polls today? Some things that they can do to ensure that their vote is protected as they get to the poll?
Absolutely. Yeah. The most important thing is always make a plan to vote. We know that every voter has a full life. You got work, you got childcare obligations, you got all of this stuff that you have to plan around. Make voting fit into whatever your plan is for today. Make sure that you remember to take your photo ID with you, your driver's license, your passport, whatever ID that is required to be presented at the polls, to make sure to have that with you. If you want to take a look at who's on the ballot, you can download a sample ballot on the Secretary of State's website. You just type in your address and it'll show you who is on the ballot, what races are up for election, and you can even fill it out ahead of time and take it into the polling place with you, so you have something that you can look at when you're filling out your ballot at the polling place. You should know that you have a right to get assistance with voting if you have a disability, or if you need assistance reading or writing. You have a right to get the assister of your choice when you're going to the polls. Before you get to the polls, you should know where your polling place is. There are a bunch of resources to be able to do that. You can go online to the Secretary of State's website, or usually the more kind of direct way to do it is call your county circuit clerk or go onto their website online. They'll have the most up-to-date information about where your polling place is.
That's great information, Amir. Mississippi has a history of disenfranchisement, also a history of revolutionary movement as well. If there were, for instance, to be some voter intimidation or any tactics or like anything of that nature to take place today, what could a voter do in order to get in contact with the Legal Defense Fund to kind of let them know what's happening?
Absolutely. So, number one, we have poll monitors across the entire state, going to hundreds of polling locations. They're either going to be wearing LDF t-shirts or election protection t-shirts, One Voice t-shirts. And so they'll be easy to spot. You'll be able to see them at the polling place. If you run into a problem at the polling place, whether it's intimidation, you feel like you're getting the wrong information from the poll worker, you can't find your name on the rolls, you can find one of those people, let them know, they'll be able to help you. If you don't have one of those people at the polling place when you're there, you can call the Election Protection Hotline. It's 1-888-601-VOTE, so 1-888-601-8683. There are going to be people who are they're actually upstairs right now.
Yeah.
They're upstairs right now answering calls from voters and helping voters respond to any issues that they have. And if there is an issue like intimidation, we have attorneys ready to go, providing the right information to you. If there needs to be some type of legal response, there are a bunch of attorneys who are at the ready to be able to provide that.
For sure. Amir, before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to let the people know before getting out of here?
Yeah, just repeating what I said earlier, this is one of the most important elections, I think, of our generation.
Definitely.
It is, like I said, all of our statewide offices, all of our legislative offices. And, we are at a moment in our, history where we're at an inflection point. There are all of these things that Mississippians are facing: healthcare issues, childcare issues, economic issues. And so all of these things, these are the issues that are on the ballot.
Yeah.
We're voting for people, but really we're voting for people that are making decisions about these things that affect our day-to-day lives. And so I would just say, get out there and vote, exercise your right, make your voice heard. It's incredibly important for all of us. And so that's what I would like to tell folks.
Thank you so much, Amir. And if it's anything else you want to come back down here and let the people know, we'll be here for a little while. So, you're welcome to come back and pull back up on us.
Awesome.
Good to meet you, man.
Take
Good to
care.
meet you.
Yeah, you
Sure. Pulling up in just a moment, we're going to have my good friend, Robin Jackson, from the Mississippi Black Women's Roundtable. So she'll be coming in. We hot? Are we good?
No chaser. No chaser.
What's good, beautiful black people? It is CJ Lawrence, CEO of Black with No Chaser. I am here with one voice and the Mississippi NAACP. And right now I'm here sitting next to my friend Robin Jackson from the Mississippi Black Women's Roundtable. What's good, Rob?
Hello, CJ. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well. Excited to be here. It's voting day.
I'm excited to have you here. I'm
Yeah.
excited to have you here. So obviously, you're with the Mississippi Women's Roundtable. I think there's a lot of issues on the ballot that directly impact women.
Yeah.
Obviously, in a lot of ways. But are there any particular issues that stand out to you that come to mind that you want to focus on?
Yeah. You're actually right. There are so many issues that come to mind when you're thinking about the shift that we're wanting to make in Mississippi currently. So that looks like affordable childcare. Access to quality and affordable health care. So we have a Black maternal health thing that's happening in Mississippi. And we know that if we expand Medicaid, then we'll be able to help Black women that are, giving birth to babies every day. We also know wages, being able to lift the minimum wage, being able to give basically mothers and families the opportunity to give their families a quality life. So all of those things are the things that we're looking at and paying attention to as we're asking Black women to get out and vote today.
No, I think that's, you on the money. I mean, particularly, it's definitely some substantial things when you're talking about the impact that healthcare has on Black women directly.
Yeah.
We know, understand that the mortality rate when it comes to giving birth, childbirth, impacts Black women more than it does anybody else, particularly in southeastern states like Mississippi and Louisiana. And so when those things come to mind, what would you say to and obviously Black women get out and vote anyway, but what would you say to our sisters?
And I think that that's the thing that when we're talking to our sisters about Black maternal health, we use those stories like those that we hear about in the Mississippi Delta, where women are wanting, preparing to go into labor, and there's not a hospital within, 30 miles. And while they're going through that process, they're dying or their babies are dying. And so you bring those stories back to the table and you put a Black woman at the opportunity when she was in the labor room. Like, we all have a story. We all have a maternal health story. And the more that we communicate those stories and we're able to look at how some of us are fortunate and some of us are not, then that is what drives us to say, well, I'm going to do this for my sister who may not be able to. It makes you think about those that are giving birth in the Mississippi Delta or those other southern places that you just talked about.
When you said that, it made me think, like, the Black women's maternal health issue, while it's an issue that directly impacts Black women, it's also a issue that Black men should be prioritizing and understanding. Like, it's another reason for us to get up and go to the polls, because these are our mothers, our sisters, our wives that are directly being impacted by access to this type of healthcare and things like that. What are some of the other things that you're thinking about today as this election, with all of the issues that are on the ballot?
I think the biggest thing for us is going to be wages and being able to ensure that Mississippians are being able to have a quality life. So many times we talk about, we want affordable wages, but we really don't talk about what that looks like. An affordable wage is a wage that is given to a person and they're able to give their child the best education, to buy the best food, the best produce, and those things. So when we're looking at today, we're wanting to look at how can we get Mississippians not just economically secure, but being able to have a quality economy, and what that looks like for Mississippi.
Robin, is there any way that people can get in contact with you and the Black Women's Roundtable if they want to do so?
So we would love for people to follow us on our social media accounts, Mississippi Black Women's Roundtable. We also have a website where you can get all of that information and know what issues we're following, and that's msbwr.org. And so that's how people keep up with us and stay connected.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, y'all, this is my for real friend.
Yeah.
So it's I'm like happy to have you up here.
Yeah,
Is there
I'm
like
excited.
I mean, like honestly, if there's anything else you'd like to let people know, with regard to today's elections or just moving forward with
Yeah,
your
well,
org,
yeah,
please
we
do.
want to make sure that everybody understands that if you have any issues while you're at the poll and going out and doing your due diligence and taking your right, that you can call us at 1-888-601-VOTE. Again, that's 1-888-601-VOTE. You can call us. We've been upstairs answering your phone calls, talking to the lawyers to make sure that everyone is able to do what needs to be done today.
Thank you so much,
You're
Robin.
welcome. Thank you for
I
having
really
me.
enjoy having you. You did good.
Yes, thank
dope.
you.
dope.
You're
Give me a
so
hug, girl.
happy. Thank you so much.
Absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely,
yes.
y'all. That's my friend Robin V. Jackson of the Mississippi Black Women's Roundtable, and she's tapped in and she's plugged in, fighting for Black women's rights, and as I said, I see my responsibility, and that's another reason for me to get up and make sure that I cast my vote today.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
With no chaser.
All right. So yeah, hey y'all, we are back and we just had Robin V. Jackson on talking about Black women's issues as it relates to the this election and why it should matter to all of us. And as a Black man, as she talked to me about some of the issues, particularly as it relates to maternal health care, things like that, it was something I thought about because these really are our wives, our sisters, our mothers that are directly being impacted by what's happening in our healthcare system, and that is, again, is another instance of why it's such an essential issue. When you're talking about the number one voting block in the state of Mississippi, it's going to be Black women. When you talk about the age group of people who are voting, it's going to be Black elders, right? It's going to be Black people who were born in the baby boomer era, with Gen X and millennials and Gen Z, just moving into the space of voting and being active at the level that we're being active. And so take those things into consideration. And when you look at it from a strategic standpoint, if someone were to not want a certain sector of people to vote, or if they wanted to impact their ability to vote, those are the people that they would impact the most. And the way to do that indirectly would be through healthcare and underfunding healthcare. And that way you ensure that the elders who vote actively at an 80 to 90% rate are either unable to get to the polls because they're sick, too sick to get up the vote, or they're no longer here with us to be able to cast their vote. And so when you take that into consideration and understand the strategy that is at play, and the significance and honestly the diabolical nature, to an extent, of how voting participation and disenfranchisement has occurred in the state of Mississippi, it makes it that much more it makes it that much more significant why we can't wait and why it's so essential to vote right now. So yeah. I see my guy Charles up in the building. I seen the Shumby in the building. How y'all doing? You gonna pull up on us? Okay. Yeah. Whenever y'all want to pull up on us. Okay.
With no chaser. With no chaser.
Welcome back to Election Protection 2023. I am here with my good friend, Executive Director of One Voice, Nashambi. How you doing?
I am doing well today. The lines are long. People are out there voting. I'm a little frustrated because there are a lot of problems out there,
Yeah.
but people are out there voting. So
Okay.
that's the good part.
Well, hey, look, I'm excited to see you. It's been a minute since
It's
been a few months since I've seen you, but yeah, just I'd love to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that people have called in to talk about experiencing, and how we're how these things we're kind of addressing them with election protection.
Yes. So, the biggest problem that I've heard this morning has been machines breaking down.
Really?
Yes. I mean, early this morning, how do machines break down at 7:45?
Wow.
The poll just opened.
Which do we know which precincts are kind of having some of those issues?
Yes. We got calls this morning from Byram City Hall, Tougaloo Community Center, my precinct, Chastain Middle School. Those are the ones that I remember so far. And there were also problems in Harrison County in Biloxi. But those were resolved pretty quickly in Biloxi.
Okay.
Because those folks got on it in Biloxi.
Yeah.
In those other places are being resolved. I think Tougaloo is fixed. In Chastain is fixed. I just left those two.
And those are two. And then if I remember, those are two big.
They're pretty big.
They're
pretty big. Yes, absolutely. I'm not sure about Byram yet.
Okay. Yeah. So we don't even know.
If that one is fixed yet.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are having any issues at any of your precincts, please call 1-888-601-VOTE. That is 1-888-601-8683. That's the Election Protection Hotline, and we will be here answering your calls. There will be attorneys and others available to help advise you and also to take down and document your experience.
Absolutely.
So Nashambi, what are some of the essential issues that kind of are on the ballot this year that are you feeling, like, hey, these are things that I'm really passionate about that I want to ensure people are talking about and thinking about as to get to the polls?
Oh, yes. So Medicaid expansion has been that number one issue. So, everyone has heard, the debate between the two candidates who are running for governor talk about Medicaid expansion. One has said he will not expand Medicaid, and that is our current governor, who has refused to expand Medicaid and has said that he will continue to refuse not to expand Medicaid. And we know that, several hospitals have closed,
yes,
especially in the Mississippi Delta, but in many of our rural communities. And, not to mention, many Mississippians are without health coverage. So, it's an extremely important issue. And the other candidate has said day one, he will sign Medicaid expansion in with his executive order privileges.
I think what you just said is actually a interesting element of this that we have not explored yet in this conversation. And that's, you talked about the affordability of healthcare.
Right.
And how Medicaid expansion actually makes that healthcare affordable. Because that's something that probably if people have gone through the process of getting on the healthcare.gov and trying to file, they probably experienced some things and said, well, this isn't as affordable as I'd like for it to be. And they don't likely don't realize that it would be affordable, but for Medicaid expansion not happening, and that $4 billion essentially subsidizing that. So I think that's a very significant thing to talk about, Nashabi, and that one candidate is, that one candidate is obviously in support of something like that, whereas the other candidate is not, is definitely something to think about and consider.
Absolutely.
With
Absolutely.
regard to this, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to throughout the day, as far as just election day, and as far as I guess ensuring that folks can get out and vote in a way that's comfortable and safe?
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to hearing more about the long lines of folks that are out there voting. Also looking forward to hearing from some of those first-time voters. We worked with members of Delta Sigma Theta. I'm in that other sorority, the first and the finest.
I see you.
Alpha Kappa Alpha. But however, we work with everyone. So we worked with the Jackson alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, and they registered voters here in Jackson Public School District. And so they had Monica, over 700 newly registered voters here in Jackson Public Schools.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to hearing from some of those newly registered voters who are voting for the first time today.
Yeah,
and I want to hear about their experience.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping that the youth
Yes.
show up and show out, because
Yes.
this is really an opportunity to do that. You saying that made me think about my first time voting and how excited I was to do it, actually. So yeah,
it makes you feel so good when you think about, the sacrifices that people made for us, and just being able to go in there and just, press a button and have so much power.
That's right. Is there anything else that you want to let the people know as the executive director of One Voice on today?
Hey, if you already gave them the number 888-601-VOTE if they need any help. So just call us, and also, call us and tell us about the good stuff too. We also want to hear about those poll workers and election commissioners that are doing well. And I try to shout them out when I can, because sometimes it feels like we're only complaining about them. But I try to shout out folks like Tamika James Jones and Marvin Jones up in Humphreys County.
Okay.
And other folks, Zach Wallace here in Hinds County, that are doing amazing work. Yvonne Horton here in Hinds County. We have some really amazing folks that work really, really hard to make sure our systems are working well. So yeah, shout out those folks who are working tirelessly to make sure that our elections are fair.
Well, Nashambi is another real friend of mine, and so one, I'm so happy to see you, and two, I appreciate what you all are doing with One Voice and Election Protection today. I appreciate you all inviting us with Black Note Chaser to be here.
Thank you for being here. This is so nice. I love this.
Oh yeah, and listen, we can make this a regular thing.
Yes,
that's the hope, is whatever type of issues there are that we need to inform the people about, let's do it together.
Absolutely.
One Voice is on it, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nashambi, and Nashambi, I will be probably bothering you again later.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see you later. Okay.
All right. All right.
No chaser. No chaser. with no chaser. With no chaser.
Good afternoon, beautiful Black people. I am here with a walking library. This is the historian, Mr. Figures. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. So glad to have you here with the Election Protection Hotline and Black Window Chaser, just to talk to us a little about the importance of today and some of the things that are on your mind as we embark on this day today. So,
Okay, let me just do one thing that's on my mind because Miss McInnes reminded me, I guess, about 7:15 this morning when she came in. And it was something that I thought about too. She said, and I'll quote, "This feels like November of 2008."
oh
And I
man,
knew what she was talking about. And I said, well, strangely enough, I've had that same feeling. And I have recited that to a couple of people as the day progressed. And two people have also responded that they have that feeling
oh my goodness.
also.
Now that's extremely significant if we're feeling that way. I've definitely felt an energy as well, Mr. Figures, as it relates to just people having hope about the possibility of what can happen for Mississippi, and that hope actually being realistic. Uh, this time around, what are some of the issues that people should be thinking about that should motivate them to get to the polls this time?
Well, one thing that's really at the top is universal health care. Now, nobody is using the term universal health care, but we do need here in Mississippi for Medicaid to be expanded.
Mhm.
There are a significant number of people, especially children, that don't have access to health care, and we need that. In addition, we do need quality education, and we need a fully funded public quality education. Now, we definitely need that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that as you talk about, you're talking about issues that affect everyone from youth to elders when you're talking about uh, education and you're talking about healthcare. And these are things that are essential that touches every last one of us in this state. Um, what are some of the ways that we as voters can, you know, ensure that we're maximizing um, our opportunity to ensure that our voices are heard today?
Certainly by voting ourselves, but then it's easy also. Just encourage somebody that's close to you in your household, somebody that may be in close physical proximity of where you are. Have you voted? Come on, let's go vote. Just encouraging somebody to vote because it's in the numbers. And I'm sure that everybody knows that, as you say, the hopeful outcome, uh, but more than that, everybody know that it's numerically possible that Mississippi can be better.
I like the way that you put that. That numerically possible makes me optimistic in a way that even, I want it to be optimistic. And I think that as a person that feels like Mississippi has sometimes scorned us in some ways, it feels good to be able to look at the numbers and know that change really can occur here. As we sit in front of the photographs behind us include Ida B. Wells and Fannie Lou Hamer and Brother Hollis Watkins. I think about the history of the state and the history of voting, and I know that you have a wealth of knowledge as it relates to that, and so I just appreciate the moment of having you here to talk to us about that and to have us think about what hope looks like. Think about what hope looks like, Mr. Figures. Would there be anything else that you would, I guess, charge to the voters to contemplate as we head to the polls for the next few hours?
Yes, a charge. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to this moment where possibilities are so within reach. That's probably longer than a charge.
No, I love it. It's poignant. It's powerful. I think that I think that speaking with you really helps drive home the moment that we stand in with regard to what this election does mean to so many and can mean to so many if we utilize what we have to galvanize those numbers and make it move.
Also, with regard to a charge, not far from where we're sitting now, is a deacon from Shady Grove Missionary Baptist Church right here in Jackson. I won't invoke his name, but he's within our midst right now. And on some Sunday mornings at Shady Grove, when it's his to give devotion, he might utter this in classic and distinctive African call and response tradition that our people brought and inculcated into our religious worship, our spirituality. A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, who gave his son my soul to save and fitted for the sky. Now, that's a charge that he gives out to us on some Sunday morning. And I'm inspired to see him. I'm also inspired to see so many people doing this work here, election protection. There are at least 30 people upstairs in November 7th, 2023, that are sitting at stations with electronic devices, computers, headphones, and telephones that are receiving calls from anybody all over this state. They have meticulously divided this state into regions and have people in those regions, but they've circulated this number where if you're having any type of problem, you can call and somebody is here right now in real time to answer your challenge or concern. Absolutely. That inspires me. And do you know what? Most of the people that are there are under 50.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I have been doing election protection since 2013. And so it's one of the things that I'm very, very proud of. Very proud to have participated and proud to be participating in this capacity. Ladies and gentlemen, the number that Mr. Figures is speaking to is 1-888-601-VOTE. That's 1-888-601-8683. If you have any issues anywhere throughout the state of Mississippi, you call the Election Protection Hotline, and someone will answer that call and help you resolve that matter and help walk you through that matter. We have attorneys, we have informed people working those lines, and so please do not hesitate if you run into an issue, and if you know anybody who has run into an issue, you be sure to let them know that number as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Figures, for taking the time to speak with me. I really enjoy seeing you, and I really enjoy talking with you. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. You stay strong.
Thank you, brother.
And please stay healthy.
Yes, indeed. I will. I appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. Figures speaking with him. And so we'll be back in just a moment. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. I'm here with the cute doggy dog himself. What's up with you, Keemar?
What's up, Tamer?
What's going on?
Yes, man. How are
Good
you?
to see you, man.
Good to be seen.
Listen, man. Hey, I'm happy to have you here. I know you here in an official capacity.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard, bro. I love PE so much, man. I got to be PE in front of the camera a little times. I got to cut up with you. But yeah, man. Keemar, you here with SPLC, man?
Correct. Southern Poverty Law Center. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And obviously we are all here doing the election protection thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about some of y'all's goals, for a success? What does a successful election look like for SPLC this term?
Man, we've been solely focused on like young voters, getting young voters out anywhere between the ages of 18 and 40. And so we've been activating Mississippi for real. That's been like the name of our campaign, Activate Mississippi. And we are, giving people voter education, college students and things of that nature about how to be a defender of democracy.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Wakenia Clanton. She was able to co-write and create a comic book called Defenders of Democracy to get more people like interested in the topic of voting. Because, when you talk about voting, it seems to be boring. It's not as sexy, if you will, for people to talk about. Mm-hmm. And so making this more appeasing to young people so they can realize the importance of voting and then actually go and vote.
I actually saw the comic book. It's dope.
It's dope.
Yeah. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? When she first told me about it, I was like, I want to see how you going to do this now.
Yeah.
But she actually, y'all did that. Y'all did that.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that talking about activating the youth and activating them in a way that that they want to be activated.
Absolutely.
What are some of the like things that y'all are observing and experiencing when being out there in the field?
That they actually want to know.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that we do well is meeting them where they're at. Like through Activate Mississippi, we were able to tour 5 different colleges throughout the state of Mississippi. So that's Tulu College. Shout out to the Lou.
Yeah.
Alcorn State University. We went to Rusk College. We went to Mississippi Valley and University of Southern Mississippi.
Okay.
And at USM more specifically, and you know, all the Greek organizations were represented very well at USM, and a lot of them had some really good questions for the panelists that were there to have this voter education and this talk.
Okay.
And so meeting them where they are, answering the questions that they thought that they couldn't ask publicly because nobody wants to ask a quote unquote simple question and it be perceived as a dumb question from other people, but a lot of people don't know, and they were not ashamed to ask the right questions for them to know.
Oh man, that's good. So essentially, y'all are creating safe spaces for them to ask the things that none of us knew in the beginning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good thing, man. Is it's essential to meet the youth where they are and to not, to treat them like people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
they are.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of times, historically, we've done a lot of talking when it comes to trying to solve problems rather than talking to people about what their problems are.
Absolutely.
And then allowing them the space to say, this is how we want to solve it.
And I think that's become more popular as time goes on when it comes to mental health and things of that nature. I think everybody is learning how to communicate effectively and talk to versus at. So I think this is the era of effective communication and active listening. So SPLC, we've been actively listening to, those in Mississippi. And again, we've been meeting the young people where they are. You know what I mean? Like even back then, the young people were the ones, the John Lewises, the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, so on and so forth,
Yeah.
Like these were some young cats out here.
Facts, man.
And making crazy change.
The revolution, the movement has always been led by the youth.
Believe that.
Yeah, man. Like you right on point with that. I guess with that being said, Kimar, like what would a successful just as far as voters being activated, what does success look like from a SPLC youth standpoint?
The success was all the voter registrations that happened on each campus.
Okay.
Although we weren't able to register them, we partnered with other organizations that could register voters. And so each college stop, we were able to get a great amount of students to register to vote. And those that weren't registered in that area that were from out the state, although they may be registered at home, it's like, hey, if you won't go home to vote and you're going to be here, you need to register here on your campus to ensure that, that you get your vote in.
Yeah.
So that was one. And then the other success was getting folks interested once again, like that. The interest is what sparked everything else. So yeah, that's what that looked like.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's essential in organizing. Like, it's activation is number one, right?
Number one.
So once you get the people moving, like like now, it's the ball is in their court now.
Yeah.
The ball is in their court.
Another success I want to share.
Yeah.
One of the most recent ones, we had Big 30, and other hip hop artists and Endless Entertainment.
Okay.
And we were able to use the platform of text through to text, everybody in the community in whatever area. And overall, we sent over 100,000 text messages, I believe, to everybody throughout the state of Mississippi.
100,000
to remind folks to get out here and vote.
Listen, 100,000 text messages being sent out. Hey, look, y'all been working.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at it. Before we wrap, is there anything else that you want to be able to say to voters or to listeners as it relates to today or moving forward?
Today and moving forward, just realize and understand that civic engagement is a daily thing. It's not, we shouldn't just wait for when it's time to vote to get active. We should be frequently active in our communities in order to make it better. You know what I mean? So I would just say that, like I heard a wise woman once say, civic engagement is a 365 sport. So it's every day throughout the year, each year. So get involved out here.
I feel it, and I believe it, and I live it, and I see you living it.
Yes, sir.
I see you living it with the things you're doing. So
Blessings.
hey, look, man, this is my guy Kemar Kane. I'm sure you're gonna see him again on Black with No Chaser. So.
Hey.
Hey, doggy, love for sure. Always. Yeah, man. We'll be right back. Peace.
With no chaser. With no chaser. Black with no chaser.